Hello, 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 and welcome to another Business Booster live stream. It's Jor'EL, your global business and branding strategist. But what's most dear to my heart is I'm a do what you love activist. I'm all about helping you to get the skills that you need to grow an effective coaching or consulting business and take you and your life and your loved ones' lives to that next level. And for those of you that are here for the very first time, and because we have people tuning in from all over the globe onto these Business Booster live streams, please comment below. Let me know where you're tuning in from, what part of the world you're coming and live and direct from, and also let me know if you're watching this live. If you're watching this live, then please comment live below. And also, if you're watching this via replay, then also hashtag replay and will be very good. Now, just some housekeeping, just to let you know, I'm doing this via StreamYard, right? So somewhere around this video is going to be some instructions of how you can let StreamYard connect with you so I can know who's watching, because otherwise you just come up as like a Facebook user. But we like to get a bit more interactive and connected than that during these Business Booster live streams. Now, I've got a packed session for you because today we're going to be looking at, listen to me very, very closely. We're going to be looking at how you can stop dabbling in your 9 to 5. You know, what I mean by are you a 9 to 5 dabbler? Is if you're someone that's got a passion driven business and that you're doing part time, but you're also doing it alongside a day job, right? And usually when we're in that dabbling situation, it's because we haven't quite worked out what we need to do to actually transition to that full time. And so this is what this live Business Booster live stream is going to be all about, so that you can understand, okay, that you don't need the expensive funnels, right? You don't need the complicated sales processes, all of these things that are being sold to us as the new way of doing business on the internet literally get in the way of the basics. Okay, to go out there and create yourself a great business, a business where you're making 10, 20K, 30K per month. Okay, you really do not need all of those bells and whistles. Listen to me. I have worked with the greatest, right? I have spent up to 50K in my development for my business, etc. And I'm going to be honest and truthful with you. Okay, it wasn't until I discovered the basics, what I'm going to share with you today, that I actually took off and that my business took off. And do you know what that taught me? It taught me that all of this stuff that we're being told, you know, click funnels, landing pages, complicated sales processes, freebies to low ticket offer to high ticket offer, all of that kind of stuff is for you when you are scaling. Okay, if you are scaling your business, right, you're comfortably making 20K per month, and now you want to scale your business, then all of this good stuff is awesome. Okay, and occasionally the odd person here and there can start from scratch, jump into that way of doing business and make it a success. But for the majority of people, it's all about landing the basics. And if you haven't got the basics right, if you are currently struggling to get the basics right, well, that is the reason why you are not able to take your business to the next level. And the clear indication of that is because you are dabbling right now. Okay, it means that you've currently got your passion-driven business part-time while managing it alongside a day job. Now, how awesome would it be, right? How awesome would it be if you could literally replace your day job income, right, with your passion-driven business income? Because I am not a believer. I've seen it happen before. I've seen people tell people to quit their day jobs and to go into their speaking business full time or go into their coaching business full time. And do you know what happens? People end up losing their houses. People end up in dire situations because it's just not practical. So I'm a strong believer that in order for you to be able to transition into a passion driven business full time, you need to get to the stage where you're looking at the day job income, you're looking at the passion driven business income, and you are like, it makes sense for me to move into this now. Okay. So that is something for you to be very much aware of. Now, later on in this process, I will be sharing with you how you could potentially work with me to help you to move into your passion driven business full time within the next 90 days. Okay. How we can do that before the end of this year so that you can go into the beginning of next year knowing that you have the lifestyle that you desire. And part of being able to do that is by getting these fundamentals in place. Look, once I got these fundamentals in place, it enabled me to scale my business to 30K per month in 8 weeks. Okay, that's how crucial the information that I'm about to share with you is. Okay, so you need your pen, you need your paper, you need to get your listening ears out because we're going to dive in and we're going to get to the root of that. So, what I want to do now is I'm going to share my screen with you. For those visual people out there that like to see things, you're going to get my screen share with you, and I'm going to share with you exactly what's required on your part in order to be able to really grow your business to the point where you can move into it full time. I mean, who doesn't want that? The lifestyle that you can have as a consultant or a coach, where you're there helping others to achieve their goals, where you're transforming your life as well as transforming other people's lives. It's just no feeling beats it, right? And I can say that from experience. I was in a 9 to 5. I worked tirelessly. I say, people talk about 9 to 5. I say 9 to 12, right? I worked tirelessly from 9 to 12 as an engineer, and I wasn't being fulfilled as a person. And it wasn't until, as I said, I got these basics in place was I not only able to replace my day job income, but now I've been able to scale my business and I live life on my own terms. And if you cannot get right now that I love life, well, I don't know what it is that you're watching because I get high off life. All right, so let me know that you can see my screen. I believe that you should be able to see my screen because we're going to dive into how to stop dabbling and finally go full time with no complicated funnels or expensive ads. All right, so where are you possibly now? All right, probably you're currently dabbling, as I've mentioned before. You've got your day job and you've got your passion-driven business on the side, and it's running you rugged, right? Of course it will, because when you work a day job, a challenging day job, to then come home and then do another day job with all the best intention in the world. And if you're doing it right now, hats off to you. But it's one of the hardest things. And I know that because I was in that position, right? You had to really be diligent. And what does it do? It takes away from you spending time with your friends and your loved ones. It causes problems and friction within the household. Why? Because after you finish work, you want to be able to spend time, helping your kids maybe to read or helping them to do their homework or booking a holiday with your wife or your partner or your spouse, those kind of things, not to then be having to go home and then do another day's job, right? So the quicker you can move from that position, the better it's going to be not only for you, but for everybody else. I understand when you have a calling, you've got to do what you've got to do, but that's why this is something that is a must. And if you are really driven to want to be able to do that, then you've got to listen to what I've got to say in regards to the basics you need to get the business off the ground. Maybe you're struggling to get clients, okay? So you've got your business set up part-time, but you're struggling to get the clients to be able to replace the day job income. Well, this is going to help you to do that. And maybe you're getting your feet wet thinking that the growth process needs to be hard. Let me explain what I mean by this. If you're one of those people that are saying, I need to start off selling, I don't know, $100 as a price point, and then I'll scale to $200, and I'll scale to $500. If you're one of those people, well, let me tell you something. By the time you're battling through that scaling process, you will be so burnt out. You'll be so unfulfilled in your passion driven business because it's not giving you any return, that the likelihood of you actually growing something and sustaining it and creating the transformation you want in not only your lives and your loved ones' life will actually dwindle down to zero. I've seen so many people fall off the bandwagon because of this ridiculous process. I think it's ridiculous because, yes, I get the fact that, we sometimes don't feel confident in ourselves, but I'm a strong believer. If you're going to go out there to sell, you might as well learn how to sell at high ticket. Because once you know how to sell at high ticket, then you've covered the process. And you know what, guys? Oftentimes the thought is, if I sell cheap, it's going to be easier for me to get people on. It really isn't. I ask people all the time who are not charging high ticket, and by high ticket I mean 2K plus. They're charging per hour, or they're charging $100 or $500. I ask them, and they're sometimes working harder to get people onto their process than if they just went out there and started charging high ticket. And do you know what my theory behind that is? I believe it's because the people who are they're trying to get to enroll are not seeing the value in what they have. Why? Because they haven't seen the value in it within themselves. How can you expect anyone to see the value in what you've got if you can't see the value in what you've got yourself, right? If you think it's cheap and you're giving it away cheap, then guess what the perception is? It's cheap, and everyone knows that cheap is nasty, right? So maybe that may be the reframe that you need to start thinking about. All right, maybe you're charging or trading money for time, charging one-on-one. If you're currently doing this, stop it, okay? I talked a couple of weeks ago about how you can build your own signature program where you can work one to many, but at the same time, you can also just bring one person through that program if you've only got one or two clients, right? But the concept that you have to start charging one-on-one before you progress on to, group coaching is just a myth. Yeah, well, it's not a myth. It's very well spoken about in the industry, and it's something that it makes my blood boil. Okay, so stop it. If you're doing this and you want to be serious about transitioning into your full-time business, then get the structure right. Build a flexible group program which you can bring one person through if that's all you've got, or you can bring 100 people through, and it's not going to affect your ability to scale. Because I spoke about it last week. Secretly, what's going to happen is you're going to be sabotaging your business. Because think about it, if you're doing a day job, right, and then you're trying to do this passion driven business on the side, all of a sudden you know that you've got only a couple of hours in the evening, you got some time on the weekends, then psychologically you're going to be telling yourself that you can only bring in a number amount of clients, right? Even if you're not consciously thinking it, high consciously you are. And so you're going to think, well, I've only got this amount of time, so I can only take on 4 clients. Well, if that's the thinking, no wonder your business is not growing, right? If that's the thinking where you're telling yourself, I can only bring in 4 clients because that's the only time I have, that is why your business is not growing. Right? Allow that to sink in, right? That's just a nugget right there. All right, selling low ticket. Some of you may be selling low ticket. No, you should be charging more, but for some reason, your mindset is not right. Okay, you're not valuing what you have to offer, or maybe you've not packaged it up in the right way, and that's not what this subject's about. But you definitely want to check out the live that I did on how to create a signature program if your confidence is one of the things that are lacking, and that's keeping you playing small. Maybe you're new to coaching, you're just starting out, right? And you're thinking, yeah, I'm new to it. Let me just get into it one-on-one, or, let me get my feet wet. Let me take my time. Let me tell you something. When you've got the passion and the drive to make coaching a thing, or consulting a thing, you want to move on that passion and that drive quickly, because after a while, something that you can have the motivation for and drive for could suddenly turn into dead wood. Have you ever tried dragging dead wood? Imagine dragging dead wood, up a hill. It's a very hard task to do, right? Now, you never want your coaching business or your passion driven business to be like dragging dead wood. Okay, trust me on that one. Maybe you want to move into your passion driven business by the end of the year, right? So you're there thinking about how you can do it. Well, this is going to help you to do that. Maybe you're tired of building a business and now you want to move into building a legacy. If you want to get past that building stage and you now want to think about the impact you want in the world, then again, you need to get these basics in place. Or maybe you're run rugged, constantly trying to reinvent the wheel. The Mary Kay yard sale, I call it, where every minute Mary Kay has a sale on. I see this with coaches and I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, why do you need to keep reinventing the wheel, creating this program, creating that program, selling this, selling that? It's because you haven't put the strategies in place. You haven't got a robust high ticket offer. And so that's why you have to go into the Mary Kay yard sale, constantly charging cheap prices and every 2 minutes having a sale on. Or maybe you're just starting out and you're coaching one-on-one right now. Well, as I said to you, it's just as similar as trading money for time. And if you're doing this, then you need to now look at how you can build a high ticket offer in place, a group program in place, so you can actually start building a business that actually serves you and not runs you into the ground, having to serve people one-on-one. So where do you want to be? Maybe you want to feel confident in your abilities to sell high ticket and to charge what you are worth. Maybe you want to be in your passion driven business full time and you will know that this is the year you want to be able to do it. Maybe you want to kick your boss and your unfulfilling job to the curb, and the sooner the better. High five on with you on that one, because I was in exactly the same position. And the quicker I could get out of that, and the quicker I could kick the boss to the curb, that was what made me happy. So I totally get you on that. Maybe you want to be able to provide for your loved one, or you provide them lavish things. You know, I mean, it's so horrible when you have to be thinking about whether or not you can get this or you can get that. Doesn't mean you're broke. It just means you have to be careful with money. Like, who wants to be careful with money? I mean, money's an energy. You should want to be able to spend it. But, we've put ourselves in positions where we're not earning what we need in order to be able to give our loved ones everything that we want. And then what happens? We feel guilty, right? We feel guilty as a parent, that we're not able to give our loved ones the things that they ask for, that they're not able to go to school with the latest this or that. Why does it need to be that way? If you structure your business correctly, get the fundamentals in place, you can earn an amazing living, right? Maybe you want to, as I said, stop having to be sensible with money and be able to lavish your friends and loved ones with nice things. And maybe it's time to prove your loved ones that you were right not to give up. I know you've got those naysayers. I probably say it most weeks, those people that are doubting you, the ones that have told you that enough is enough, get your head out of the clouds, focus in on that guaranteed salary every single month, work on that, do the hours on that, because it's predictable, right? But and you dream and you long for more. And trust me, I know that feeling. I wouldn't be here without that feeling. It's that feeling where you know what you've got is right. And it can make a difference, not only in your lives, your loved one lives, but the people that you're working with. But I mean, unless you want to wear the badge of a coach, like a badge of honor, I really don't, I'm not fussed about the badge of a coach, right? Because there's so many coaches now. Social media has made coaching available to everyone. Everyone's calling themselves a coach for whatever reason or whatever thing that they want to be showing. But what I'm interested in is, do you have a coaching business? Now, that's a different thing. Do you have a business that you are running full time that's getting you booked across the world to be speaking on people's stages? Do you have a business that is making massive transformation in people's lives? Do you have a business that's stopping you from having to be sensible with money all the time? This is the type of thing that I'm more interested in, because coaching, anyone can do it. They can turn up tomorrow, create an account and start sharing some mindset stuff. That's not how you go about it if you really want to have a sustainable business. And maybe you're interested in building your coaching empire. Yeah, maybe you want to write your book. Maybe you want to be invited onto podcasts. Maybe you want to be invited onto other people's stages as a public speaker. Maybe you want to have multiple programs, etc. If you know that you want to build a business that is impacting people's lives, like the Tony Robbins and those of likes of the world, then again, the fundamentals is what's going to get you there, right? So how do you get there? You get there by mastering how to sell high ticket, okay, and how to get out there a high ticket offer. Yeah, starting off small is a big misconception. This is the one. So many affiliate marketers I speak to, okay, the first thing that they're told is, get your feet online and start with an affiliate marketing product, right? And start selling I find this so hilarious, right? So there's products online, as we know, and I'm not beating affiliate marketers up at all right? But let's just look at the logic. So someone's got a coaching program or a program online, okay? They bring you on board to sell their program on their behalf. So basically, you are having to master all the selling skills so that you can then sell somebody else's program for pittance, right? A little small percentage of the profit. When in comparison, what you could be doing is learning and mastering the sales skills to sell your own product, right? And with a bit of thought, you could actually work out what that product is. I mean, the amount of people I hear telling me about affiliate programs, and I have to say to them, look, why would I sell someone else's program when I'm doing very well selling my own, right? So those of you that are out there that are breaking your backs, learning these selling skills just to sell somebody else's program, just take a moment to think, right? Why not just go through the hard work of selling your own program? And then once you've got to the end of that learning curve, you get a good financial return on the back of it. Because I don't see that as being any different to being in a 9-to-5 job, right? You've got a boss, you've got someone else that's that you're serving and that you're giving your time to. The only difference is you don't have the regular income. And in fact, the income you're generating, I know everyone tells me, it grows over time. But some of these affiliate marketing programs that I'm hearing out there, it's going to take you a very long time and a very huge brand before it's going to start paying off any kind of dividends. And I challenge you, come and tell me otherwise. Show me how you have made multi thousands, millions from selling the little revenue or commissions that you make from affiliate marketing. Practically very, very few people are able to do that. All right, so let's get to it. What do you need to sell high ticket? Yeah, ask me. Say, Jor'EL, what do I need to sell high ticket? Because there are only three things that you need. I'm going to say it again. There's only three things that you need in your process to be able to go out right now and start selling high ticket. Are you ready for it? All right. Thing number one, signature process. You need to have your very own signature process. I'm not going to labor on about this because I've done training on it before. If you want access to that, just drop signature process below, and I'll send you the training where I talk to you about how you create your very own signature process. But essentially, your signature process has to be your unique way at doing something. Okay, and this is the problem that I see when so many people are suffering from imposter syndrome. Let's pluck something out the air. Let's say you're a mindset coach. So many people turn up and say, I'm a mindset coach. And in their mind, they can't justify how telling someone how to think positively, right, can be worth anything more than $100, right? But let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Listen to me and listen to me good. If you are coaching, okay, and what I've experienced in my years of coaching, if I do not understand how to help people with mindset and how to get them to think positively, they do not have a hope in hell in staying diligent to my coaching process. I actually believe that mindset is more important sometimes, let's put the caveat in there, than the actual process itself. Because if you can get the mindset right, you can get the motivation. And it's almost like, understanding how to drive the car. Well, you can put someone in to drive the car and they may be rusty in the beginning, but then they will move into it a lot quicker, right? Compared to someone who gets into the car and has no clue how to drive the car, right? So let's say you're a mindset coach and you're thinking, well, how can I be charging high ticket when I'm just teaching people, affirmations, etc. When you have a signature process and you have a clear end goal for what the transformation is going to be via the mindset that you're doing, and you know the steps that you're going to take to get someone there, and you can actually physically look at it on paper and see it designed like a product, that's when you will start dropping imposter syndrome and when you will start really valuing what it is that you have to offer. If you've got no signature process and you've got nothing written down, that's why all the information is stuck in your head and why you cannot feel to yourself right now that you have the ability to charge high ticket. So the very first thing that you need to suss out is your signature process, your unique way of doing what it is that you are going to help someone to do. The next thing that you need is a high ticket offer in the form of a stack. Now, what do I mean by that? You need to break down in a level of detail, not too much detail where people are lost in the weeds, but in a level of detail, point after point, shouldn't be more than, let's say, 9 points of what that particular person is going to get when they work with you. Now, many of you are of this mindset that you can just explain what your program is and you articulate it in a way that they will understand. Let me tell you something. When someone comes to spending high ticket money, 2K plus, they want to see what it is that they're getting for their money. If you are just telling people and just explaining to them over the call without giving them the visual cues to be able to work it out for themselves, then you are basically creating a scenario where someone's going to be lost in confusion. And let me tell you this, when someone's lost in confusion, they do not buy. And I don't care how good you think you are at explaining your product or service, you're never going to beat somebody being able to look at the offer and make sense of it in their own head. Okay? I don't need you to explain it to me. Obviously, I want to hear it. I want to connect with you. I want to feel your energy. But when I'm looking at making a decision, I need to go internal, right? And I need to go through my own processes. And so when I see the offer in front of me broken down, that helps me to do that. Another thing that you want to do is let people know what the values of each component of your offer is. Otherwise, guess what's going to happen? They're going to make their own assumptions of what that value is. Okay, if you leave gaps for people to make things up, they will, because the mind does that. It likes to fill gaps. Okay, so when you have an offer, you need to be clear about what each piece of that offer, how much it's worth. The value needs to be there. It's not the price or the cost or the investment. Yeah, it's the value. I mean, so many people get caught up on it's not price, it's investment. But look, let me tell you something, okay? I don't care what you call it. If this thing is going to get someone a transformation and it's going to take them to that next level, and you communicate that in the right way, okay, and you give urgency to why they need to take action now, you could call it pork chop for all I care, right? They will buy that thing regardless of whether or not you said it was an investment or it was a price, because it's about the transformation that they're going to get, right? So I know there's the right terminology, but let's not get stuck on all of that. Yeah, let's put that BS to one side and let's just focus in. Get yourself a high ticket offer in the form of a stack. Make it clear what each value component is. So when I look at it, I can say, that makes sense to me. I want that. Or I can look at something and say, what does that mean? Or how does that work? And it starts a conversation. Don't expect me to become a mind reader and start reading what you got going on inside your head, because you're too lazy to put it in a form that I can actually read and digest for myself. And I'm saying it how it is because people have aversions to doing this all the time, and I do not know why. And that's the reason why their business is not bringing in what they require it to do, because they create lots of confused minds, and these confused minds end up not buying. Don't fall into that trap. All right. And then what you need finally is a high ticket sales framework. Now, what do I mean by that? You need a framework, okay, that you that takes someone on a journey. When someone comes onto a sales call with you, okay, they need to be taken on a journey. It's not just a way for you to just, tell them what it is that you have to offer and then give them what the investment is and, well, hey, they're going to book on. No, people coming into these situations are fearful. Why? Because they don't want to spend money. Who doesn't want to spend money unnecessarily, right? But if you can communicate with a high ticket sales framework why it's a necessity for them to spend money, well, now this becomes a bit of a different ball game. Okay, because let's face it, in a world, everyone has to spend money, right? I say this all the time. I know I have to spend money, but make me feel good about spending my money. That person that's able to make me feel good about spending my money and give me certainty about the decision I'm making is the person that's going to win me over every single time. Okay. And that's what a high ticket sales call framework will do for you. It's literally what we would call a sales script. Now, we have to understand that no two sales scripts are the same. Okay, because again, it's like a vehicle. Imagine you've got someone that I don't know, a Formula One driver behind a racing car. Okay, and then you have a I don't know, Joe Bloggs that's just learned to drive behind a racing car. Okay, obviously the Formula One driver is going to take off in that vehicle and they're going to shine, okay? But at the same time, they need to have the right vehicle in order for them to put their skills into practice. So, as charismatic as you are, and as free flowing as you are, you need some kind of sales call framework to work with in the beginning. And as I said, there's good frameworks and there are bad frameworks. I've seen some horrific frameworks in the past, horrific sales scripts that are doing nothing, right? Not doing anything for the client. It's just a couple of questions that they're throwing into the midst, and then fingers crossed and hoping for the best. Let me tell you, okay, I'm going to let you into a little bit of a secret here. What the secret behind a good sales call is. Are you ready for this? Okay. The secret behind a good sales call is changing people's beliefs. Write that one down. The secret behind a good sales call is understanding how to change people's beliefs. Okay. And sometimes you need to take people on a journey in order to change their beliefs. So that's why you need a high ticket sales framework that you can use, especially in the beginning, in order to help to get the probability of someone saying yes to a very high probability, right? If you don't have the framework, I'm telling you, you're going to be flapping about in the wind. I know some of you think that you are the Don Corleone. Yeah, you like, yeah, I got the gift of the gab. I can step out there, I can speak. What is the bank account saying, right? Is it translating into cash in the bank? Because if it's not, then something needs to connect with that charisma in order for it to be a takeoff, right? And what it needs to be is your high ticket sales call framework. All right, one more thing. I'm going to give you a bonus. All right. And that is, without the right mindset, you will never, I repeat, never be able to sell high ticket. High ticket requires a specific mindset. Okay, it requires a mindset of certainty. It requires a mindset of value. Okay, it requires a mindset of sharing. It requires a mindset of being curious about your potential client. It requires a mindset of being determined to help make transformation in someone's life. It requires all of these things, but it also requires you to believe in what you have to offer, and to believe in the transformation that you could get in other people's lives. And as I said before, if you are suffering from imposter syndrome, okay, scared of charging more, then the likelihood is you don't understand your signature process in enough detail. Break it down, go into detail, layer upon layer of what it is that you are offering and what it is that it takes. Because the moment you do that, you're going to look at this thing, you're going to be like, wow, is that what I'm doing? Compared to you trying to figure out these little pieces or nuggets that come into your mind every now and again. And because you can't quite piece it together, you just say, I have nothing to offer. All right. So these are the fundamentals that you need to bring your business to the point where you can start selling high ticket, and so that you can stop dabbling in that day job. Stop being a tire kicker for someone else. Okay. Move into a passion driven business that you've got the heart for, you've got the energy for, you've got the verve for. All right. But you're just not giving it a fair chance because you're trying elaborate things, landing pages, sales pages, complicated funnels, click funnels, this, click funnels, that. All of this jargon and nonsense is not required right away. These three things, as simple as it may sound, is all you need. You don't even need to create a course or a program yet, right? You just need this, and then you can lead into like a beta program, a high ticket beta program. Okay, now if you know you are struggling, okay, maybe you're struggling with the mindset, maybe you're not sure how you can structure it, maybe you don't have a signature a process or a high ticket offer in the form of a stack, or even high ticket sales. Maybe you thought about these components, but you're not sure how to put it together. Whatever it may be in terms of what you need to take your business to the next level so you can move into it full time this year and not go into the next or the year after that or the year after that, what you've been promising yourself. I know you have, okay, because I was in the procrastination phase as well before I made the decision that I was going to get the basics into place. So I understand what procrastination feels like. I know what imposter syndrome feels like. Looking at me now, you may not think so, but I know what it was and what it felt like, right? So I understand and I speak from experience. the quickest way for you to make this transformation, okay, is to get some help. Okay, and I am happy to have a call with you, okay, a business accelerator call, which will help you to begin to identify which pieces of this puzzle is missing, and help you to boost that confidence that you need to take yourself to the next level to make sure that this year is your year. So if that's something that you want, guys, then all I want you to do at the bottom of this, I want you to put business accelerator call, okay? BAC. That's it. Back. Business accelerator call. Just drop that in the message below, and either myself or a member of my team will connect with you, and we'll look at enrolling you into one of those calls. Look, you're not going to be sold anything on those calls. It's just an opportunity for us to have a conversation to begin to see where the holes are. And if we think that there is a good fit or that there could be transformation that could go on in your business, then we will share that with you, because why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we share that potential with you? But what you're going to walk away with from this call is a clear understanding of what you need, what you've got that's too much and that's not working, how you can clear that all back and create a framework and a structure which is going to ensure that you get the success that you want. So that brings us to the end of another Business Booster live stream. I hope you enjoyed it. As I said, if you watched live, put live below. If you've watched via the replay, put replay below. And don't forget, if you want a free Business Booster call, then literally put BAC, Business Accelerator Call, BAC, in the comments below, and a member of my team will get back to you. So until next week, remember, we're here every single Wednesday at 6 p.m. Where I will be giving you all the details, nitty gritty, everything that you need to understand how to grow and scale your business quickly to either going full time or hitting your next financial level. So until next time, I will speak to you very, very soon.